Okay, so for writing for today, we are going to be moving into now finding the quotient of a number or a problem. So it says solve for the quotient of 924 divided by 2. Then explain in words how you solve the problem using at least 2 vocabulary words. So, for instance, that means we first have to rewrite the problem with 924 as our dividend and 2 as our divisor. And then we need to ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 9? So that's our first problem setup. First, we need to make 924 as our dividend. So that's the number that's under the inside of the house. Then we put our 2 on the outside as our divisor. And we have to ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 9? Okay, so that's our first step. So we're going to type that. First, rewrite the problem with 924 as your dividend and 2 as your divisor. You're going to ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 9? Let that load. Don't know why it's taking forever. Okay, so there we go. So then we need to multiply and figure, well, first we have to ask ourselves, how many times is 2 going to 9? Well, 2 times 4. So we put our 4 up on top of the house, and we have to multiply 2 times 4 to get us 8. And the 8 goes below the 9. And then we have to find the difference, which means subtract 9 minus 8, which is 1. So that's our next step that we do. So then multiply 2 and 4 to get 8. Then you will find the difference between 9 and 8, which is 1. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to bring down our 2. Okay, we're going to bring down our 2. So now we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 12? And 2 times 6 goes into 12. And then we'll put our 12 below. And we'll subtract. And 12 minus 12 is 0. Zero. So then we're going to type that up and say that's what we did. Next, bring down the next digit, which is 2, and ask yourself, how many times can 2 go into 12? Now you're going to multiply 2 and 6 to get 12, and then subtract 12 from 12 to get 0. And after that, we are going to bring down the next digit, which is 4. And then we are going to ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 4? And 2 times 2 goes into 4. And then we have to subtract 4 minus 4. and we get 0. And now we have to type our answer in. So we say after bring down the next digit, which is 4, and ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 4? Multiply 2 and 2 to get 4, and subtract from 4 to get 0. So now we are done. We got our answer. We have no more numbers to bring down. So that we need to say that in a sentence. So finally, there are no other numbers to bring down with no remainders. So you get a value of 462. And I know I typed remainders wrong. I have to respell that out once it loads. Remainders. Okay, so we get our value, and that is writing for today.